Hello and welcome to the Kitchen Table Podcast. This is our very first episode, so we're both really excited. Long time coming.
Long time.
Quickly, we'll do some shout outs real fast, talk about some really important stuff, and then we'll get on to introductions on who we are and what we're wanting to do with this. So, first is to Salty Leather Company. It's a firefighter and family owned and operated business made with fine custom leather products made for the fire service. And they're even handcrafted in the Rocky Mountains. But more importantly, Brody, the owner, his 4-year-old son, Ronan, was admitted to the Children's Hospital with a brain tumor. So please consider helping out their family with their GoFundMe that they have set up. I'll put the link in the description if you would like to donate. Please help out this family. It'd be great. And also, please have this family in your prayers too. So,
you know what's great about that is they've already raised $10,000.
Yeah, and they were asking for $1,000.
For $1,000. That's incredible.
It's amazing. God's good, man.
It's brotherhood, man.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Also, we want to give a shout out to Brendan with Black Smoke Sticker Company. This guy has been incredible through this whole process. Just talking with him back and forth, we've come up with a pretty cool design he has for Ronan. So hopefully we'll have some exciting news coming with that here soon. If you go visit him, we'll put the link in the description. Kitchen Table for a coupon code. Get 15% off. Appreciate him doing that for us. Also, we want to give a shout out to Kyle at Smoothborecartel, rocking the hat out.
Yeah, that's what these.
Appreciate you sending that pretty quick, man. That's great.
Make sure it's not falling.
Yeah. And then we also want to give a shout out to the truck Schmucks. Those guys have been great through this whole process. They've hooked us up with Jade, getting us our logo. Which, I don't know. Can you show that logo in the corner or whatever?
I can try
maybe,
to figure that
maybe.
out.
It's
I can show
pretty
the logo,
cool.
It's a cool logo. I'm going to try to figure
cool.
out how to do that.
But, so we appreciate everybody that has reached out to us. We really do. Also, we want to give a shout out to Major Corey Britt. I know a lot of guys and gals know what's going on with him. I know we're with you with what happened. You know, I think you and I would have done the same thing. We appreciate everything he's done. Almost 3,000 people have signed his petition to get him back to Station 34. Put a link in that description, too, where you can go sign the petition to get him back home, Station 34.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, great, man. So that's all of our shout-outs, and
that's it.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
This is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
We're doing our first episode finally. So, introductions. This is Ryan, and I'm Matt. We both live in Indiana. So hopefully anybody who's out of state, just comment down below on which state you're in or what city you're from and where you're watching at. That would be really exciting. So
cool.
A little bit about yourself, Ryan. Go ahead and...
Well, I'm Ryan, like you said.
You're welcome.
I've been in public safety for almost 15, 16 years. Started as a cadet when I was 15. So worked with you for a little bit. What did we work together for? 6 years? 5, 6 years?
6 or 7.
Yeah.
It was 6 or 7. It was 6 years.
Was it?
Yeah, 6
Yeah.
years.
So, and then you and I just hit it off, and we decided...
Not at first.
Well, not at first.
Not at
I
first.
couldn't stand you at first.
We hated each other.
Yeah.
We hated each other for a good 3 months.
Oh,
I wouldn't talk to you.
Yeah.
On shift. You were the nighttime guy. I was the day and nighttime guy there.
Yeah.
And I when you would come in, I'd hated it.
Yeah. I hated coming in.
I didn't like you.
Well,
But now look,
I didn't like you either. So
yeah, you were in my wedding.
Yeah.
So things changed for the better.
yeah, now you're my best friend, and it's funny how it's all happened, and now
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting. I learned a ton.
Yeah. Well, I learned a ton from you.
You're welcome.
How to be immature.
Awesome, man. Well, my name's Matt. I've been in public safety since 2012. So coming up on 9 years here shortly. I was a cadet ever since I was the age of 14 or 15, one of those. And then got hired by the department I work at now part-time right when I turned 18. And then as soon as I turned 21, got hired full-time there, the same department. So just been doing that. I drive a lot now. I'm the engineer.
Me too.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not a bad gig. We don't get a ton of fire where we're at. So driving's not terrible. It's backstepping though is pretty nice.
Yep.
But yeah, same thing with Ryan. That's how we kind of built our relationship. At first, it was really, really rocky. It sucked. I hated him. But after a while of us working together, forced working together, we became really good friends.
Yeah.
And it's a mentality thing. So this is going to lead into why we've started this podcast, this video format podcast, which I think is a great idea. Most people are going to be watching them anyways. But there's not a whole lot out there for firefighters to kind of get together, to kind of talk to each other. There's not a ton. There's some podcasts out there. There's some shows out there.
There's some good podcasts out there.
There's some really good ones out there. But there's not I don't know of really any of that around here.
Right.
I don't know of hardly any. And then it's really exciting that we're able to put one together and that we're able to kind of talk. And what we're planning on doing is having on other firefighters from other locations, any other states. I mean, if we can get anybody anywhere, that'd be awesome. It doesn't matter, where you're from. I mean, even if you're a volunteer, I still think those guys are great.
Those guys are.
They do it all
they're
for
unbelievable.
Free. Yeah, they do it all for free, and they're not expected to be there at 2 a.m. But most of the time, they're there.
They're there doing it,
and most of them are farmers. And they're out farming all day, working 14 hours.
Well, a lot of them work other jobs
too.
too.
They got other jobs,
so,
but back with the volunteer part. Back then, it was a lot of the volunteers were
absolutely.
Farmers. So
I volunteered when I first started. So
and you're definitely a farmer.
I'm not a farmer.
You sound like a farmer. Well,
this is why I still hate you.
You want to? Well, you do. You came here. Remember that?
Yeah.
So why don't you talk a little bit more about a couple of reasons why you wanted to start this?
Well, the name was brought up to us through the guy that you work with Jacob.
Yeah.
And the kitchen table.
Yeah, he came up with the name for the podcast.
Yeah, and
he did a great job.
Appreciate that, Jacob.
Way to go, Jacob.
Yeah, appreciate it. But when you and I worked together, the kitchen table was big at the old firehouse before we moved. I know you and I and the couple guys that we did work with, we'd spend 2 hours down there after dinner. Just talking.
At least 2 hours.
About everything.
Yeah.
So I think that name kind of fits perfect for us because that's what we did. We would hang out, we would talk. We wouldn't, a lot of times, we wouldn't go upstairs, watch TV. Mm-hmm. We would just hang out, talk, and try to solve the world's problems. Mm-hmm. Like what happens at the firehouse.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And I think of a good format that we can kind of do it here in this little studio and then be able to put it out there for other guys to listen to. And not everybody has a great crew that they work with. Yeah. And it might suck for right now, but at some point you're going to work with a crew that you really enjoy, which I've been through those times. I'm sure you've been through those times where you work with a crew you don't really enjoy working with. And then a couple years of that sucking.
Well, it's like, we said earlier, you and I, we couldn't stand each other. And now look, but then it was, I enjoyed coming to work again. Yes. So,
but we're hoping to get some really good people on, talk about some really good topics.
Yeah.
If you guys have any ideas on what you want to hear or see, please comment in the bottom of the video and let us know, or contact us, DM us. We're on Instagram,
Facebook.
We're on Facebook.
Yeah.
So we'll be putting this on really anywhere where podcasts can be found, especially YouTube.
Matt will. I don't know how to do it.
Oh yeah, I'll do that stuff. But man, so what topic comes to your head when you think about firefighting?
Well, I think anymore, I think you'll agree, it's leadership. I think leadership is the number one thing that has been brought up throughout the fire service. You turn on a lot of these podcasts and they're talking about leaderships. They're talking about how to be good leaders and what's a bad leader. So, we have a lot of guys that you and I work with and that, we've been around that are good leaders. I talked to a retired captain last night who we're going to get on the show. He's excited to come on the show, and I can't wait to talk to him. I respect him. I followed his career, and I truly can't wait to hear, what leadership is to him.
There's always good things to pull from. My mom taught me this. You learn something from every person you've met in your life. You learn what to do or what not to do.
Right.
And there are some people that I've learned from. I've learned what to do, and I've learned exactly what not to do.
Yeah.
Especially with dealing with the guys you work with, and especially the stressors that you have. I mean, you've got multiple personalities working inside of a firehouse, and if you got a 2 or 3 company Firehouse, I mean, that's a lot of guys. If you're running a minimum of 3 or 4 per rig, that's a lot of guys right there. I'm not good at math either, so don't ask. What was it, 27 people?
Sure.
3 trucks, 4 people, 12, 15, 90, I don't know.
I didn't know there was going to be a math quiz.
Dude, that would be, I fail at math. But if you've got this many personalities, it's really good to have a guy that's going to step up and be the leader.
Yeah.
And then everyone recognizes that he is the leader. And then also that leader recognizing the relationship skills to take to talk to everybody. Because each guy is different. I'm very different. I'm easy to get along with, but I'm very weird.
Yeah.
And you're easy to get along with.
Yeah.
And there's times where like I push your buttons, you push my buttons, but it's like simple things. But then you learn.
But we know when to stop.
Exactly.
You know, that's the big thing is you know when to. I knew when I was pissing you off. Mm-hmm. Are we allowed to cuss?
Yeah.
We're good with it?
Don't go crazy with it.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we want to be somewhat professional. But
yeah.
Like, it's not unprofessional to cuss, but it's not the most attractive thing.
Okay.
We're getting off
So
topic.
we're good with it, though?
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not going to be sitting.
But anyways, we knew when.
Yeah.
When you were getting upset, I knew. All right, Matt's getting a little butthurt tonight. I better take it easy on him, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing is sometimes guys just have bad days when they're coming in and they're taking it out on the guys they work with.
Absolutely.
So I think a big thing for us to get out there is like if you are dealing with that at work, you're not really alone at all. Because I've felt like that before, where I've felt consistently attacked. Every day I went into work, I'm like, this isn't going nowhere. This is the worst thing in my life.
Yeah.
And then, I get another guy coming in.
Yeah.
And I got a new guy like Brent comes in, and it changes everything around during the day. I thought it, and then it just gets great. Like you have fun, you enjoy it, and it's not just like the Firehouse isn't only just for fun. I mean, yeah, it's great, but there's also now I have my opinions on how a lot of things are ran. I have my opinions, so
we all do.
Yeah, we all have our own opinions. So if you're going to be one of those keyboard monsters, good for you.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not going to read it.
And we don't care.
if the Firehouse is meant for fun, yes, but there's an aspect of training.
Right.
I have learned there's a thing of overtraining people, and there is a lot of undertraining that happens.
And you and I have talked about this too. It doesn't mean that you have to constantly be going out and doing something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can come to the kitchen table and do your tabletop trainings. I mean, you learn a lot by doing, stuff sitting at the table. You can talk about scene size up, talk about strategy and tactics. What are we going to do if this happens? My shift just the other day, we did ERT training. So, we didn't go out and do anything. We sat in the office and we talked for 45 minutes to an hour, and it was a good training. Like we all got on the same page, and it doesn't mean, like you said, going out and overtraining all the time. But as long as you do something.
That's a good idea to bring up about integrating training and other aspects of being at the Firehouse. I mean, I like to work out.
Yeah.
I haven't been recently working out at the Firehouse because I'm just tired. But recently, the guy that I just had on my crew, his name's Brandon. We were doing a workout. With our ERT stuff on, we had our bullet resistant vests on, our helmets, and we put our bunker pants on, and we ran 15 stairs. It was about 20 laps on the stairs. And then as we were doing it, we were holding a high-rise pack. And he's holding the extra 50-foot deuce and a half line.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that, we went and grabbed our tourniquets and started putting tourniquets on each other. And it's just training, and we were trying to fatigue our body. It was a fun workout.
Absolutely.
It was fun, and it was tough. It wasn't really, really tough, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's different.
But it's a different workout.
Yeah,
but it's also doing an aspect of training because Brandon's got military experience. I don't. Mm-hmm. And I learned a lot of stuff from him about like what's going to be easier. Because at that point, I'm a little bit more fatigued and tired. I'm not really paying attention as fully as I should be. And when I get to him, if I got to put a tourniquet on, my hands, I'm not going to be able to do some fine motor skills with my hands.
Absolutely.
So changing around the tourniquet to where like I can grab it with just my fingers and palms and then start ripping it and tying it in. I learned that while doing that workout. So we integrated some training with a workout too. So a lot of guys do that too. And if you do that as well, please put that down in the comments and say what you guys do. That way other guys...
Yeah, we would love to hear that stuff.
We want to hear that stuff. Maybe we can even shout it out.
We can take it to our department.
we could take it to our
to our crews.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be cool.
And if you guys hear anything on this, you know, take it back to your guys at work. You know, if you hear something that you want to try and do, just do that, and then take a picture of you guys doing it if you want, or a video, and then send it to us, and then we'll try.
I think
to
that's
see
a
if we
big
can put it
thing.
in.
Is, you
It's
know,
a
we
huge
want
thing.
we want everybody to be involved with this. You know, we don't want it just to be about Ryan and Matt.
That's definitely not.
We want guys to, you know, I would love to see what guys train on. You know, take it back to my crews. You talked about fitness. You know, I was approached by somebody on Instagram with Thin Line Fitness, Ian. You know, he's been on a bunch of podcasts and everything. He wants to come on, and, you know, I think it'd be great to talk about fitness in the fire service, you know. So he brings a lot of good stuff that we can bring to the table.
And it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a lot of those guys on anyways.
Absolutely.
Just to talk to them, just to pick their brains.
I'm with you.
I'm super excited on just like doing basic like fire attack.
Yeah.
Like line. And also if you guys have a different name for like if you have like line 1, line 2, or if you guys
apologize.
got attack 1, attack 2, whatever other lingo you guys have, just we're sorry. We'll try to explain it the best we can. Let us know. But let us know, that way we can kind of, you know, learn that as well.
Yeah. That's the exciting part about this, is hopefully we reach out to a lot of people and we get to see their styles. That'll be cool.
I just want everyone else. I just want the viewer. I want you guys to be involved.
Yeah.
So the more involved you are, the more fun it makes it for us, and it makes it fun for everybody else, because then that means they're being heard.
Right.
It's a big thing on being heard. Like I know when I did a shout out on I complimented a guy on one of his videos, and he gave me a shout out right then and there. It was a live video, and he's like, "Hey, Matt and Savannah," and all. I'm like, "Oh my!" I said, "Did you hear that?" And my wife, I was like, "Did you hear that? The guy just gave us a shout out," and she's like, "That was really cool." I'm like, made me feel special,
right?
So yeah. Well, with the leadership aspect, back to the leadership is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
What I have seen is a lack of, I would say, desire for better positions or better leaders in our departments. I'd say departments, not just one department. It's a lot, but a lot of people feel like they aren't heard, or they aren't seen, and they're not being listened to.
Yeah.
So with that, there's so many things that can get involved with feeling like that. It can come down to how you react on a fire scene. It can come down to how you act around the firehouse, because you know how you act around the firehouse.
That's a big one.
It's a huge one.
Yeah.
If you're acting like an idiot the entire day, now there's a difference between getting all your stuff done and getting your training done, and then everything is completed for the day. You're good with the officer says, "Hey, you're good. Day's yours." And then you go act like an idiot sometimes. Like I do that all the time.
I know we did.
We did all the time. Yeah, he hated when we were around because we were idiots.
Yeah.
But we got our stuff done. But as soon as that bell rings or the alarm beeps, whatever you guys have, I mean, it's back to business.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you got a guy that's not getting his stuff done, you got a guy that's, you know, talking trash the entire day, being negative,
sitting in the recliner
all day long.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with
that.
As
Like
long
you said, as long
done.
as everything's done, who cares?
But if you got a guy that's just doing that kind of stuff, that's if you're seeing it and you're noticing it, you know, be a good leader and step up and try to get that guy moving.
Yeah.
If it's not just for his sake, it's also for your sake, because he's on your crew. He's the guy that's going to be hopefully dragging you out. He's going to be the guy hopefully to drag that woman out or drag that young kid out.
Yeah.
But if he's not doing anything and he's just sitting in the recliner all day long, just collecting a paycheck, wearing the t-shirt,
I don't want to work with that guy.
I don't want to work with that guy.
I don't want to work with him.
No, I want a guy who's got some skin in the game. I want a guy who's got passion for the job.
I tell you what, we work with a lot of guys that are great. Like, you know, they're all about training. They're all about getting out there, you know, and doing it. You know, then we obviously, you know, when it comes time to relax, and let's relax. You know,
there's parts in everyone's lives that I've been that guy in the recliner. I have been.
We all have been.
We've all been that guy.
If you haven't, you're lying.
Exactly.
If you haven't, you're lying.
Yeah. I mean, or it's either you're lying, or you're brand new and you just started and you haven't sat in the recliner at all.
Or you're still that guy.
But even if you are that guy and you're watching this and you're like, yeah, you know, I could do some more training, dude, it's not the end of the road. Like, that's not your career.
Right.
There's been a few guys that I've worked with that set a name for themselves so early on that they just don't get out of it, and it just ruins their career, especially at a department they'll be working at or with the guys they work with, and they just don't want to change for the better because they like the way things are. They know the way things are.
Right.
If you're going to be changing for better, man, that might mean you got to be more respectful to people or nicer to somebody or more helpful, or you got to train more. You just got to be a better guy, better husband.
Right.
So there's a lot that's involved in it, and we're just trying to do like a bunch of broad topics for this first episode to kind of get the
Send us these topics in, like we
to
keep
get it
saying.
kinda
You know,
flowing.
let us know, because we want this show again to be about you guys. So this is like not just us. We want everybody to be involved. We want everybody to be a part of this. So, you know, like what else are we? You know, we're
we want to go on training videos. We want to go on
Yeah.
training topics. Be able to talk with. I want to get a couple different departments, SOGs and SOPs on, how are they operating
Right.
on fire scenes? How are they? What do they have planned for a bomb scare?
Right.
What do they have planned for mass shooting? Like there's Columbine. After that, they started creating their own ERT teams. I'm sorry, I just said teams twice. ERT units.
ERT teams.
But it's emergency tactical response team.
Yeah.
Team. So I mean I want to talk about that stuff. And if we can get somebody on that specializes in that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then somebody else's department can listen to this and they can learn something from it. And we can learn
Absolutely.
something from it. So yeah,
Looking forward to getting
getting
some of these people on, man. This is going to be good. It's already been great. Some of the networking that we've already been able to do. Like I said, the just a couple people that we have shouted out today. There's been a lot more that we've talked to, and we'll look forward to doing stuff with them. It's going to be cool. I know Truck Schmucks want to do a show together. That'd be cool. I've been in contact with Zoo Crew. Can't wait to get those guys on. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It'd be great.
So we got some good stuff coming. I hope so.
I really hope so too.
Yeah. We want to talk about the patch board that we're.
Oh yeah. We're gonna be doing. Is this gonna be the actual patch board we're doing it from? I mean, it's an American flag. I don't know if I disrespect.
I mean,
old
we
glory.
could, but I mean, we got that board that we're talking about creating.
What we're gonna be doing, we have a couple ideas of some stuff that's gonna make it more brotherhood driven,
Right.
and more not family oriented. That's a bad word.
Brotherhood
driven.
Yeah.
More brotherhood driven.
Right.
So with you guys' own departments, if you guys got a patch that you have made for your house or even your
sticker.
or a sticker, we're gonna have a patch board that we're gonna make and we're gonna put it up in the back. And what we'll do is we'll just showcase it the entire time. So when you guys send it in, we'll get us
Show it off.
Yeah, we'll get us a P.O. box and we'll get us something that you guys can send it to. And
Right now, you can DM us and we can let you know who to send it to.
Yeah.
I know we got a couple coming. I've already been contacted.
Yeah, that'll be
so
awesome.
we got a couple on the way. We got stickers on the way. We got T-shirts on the way. We got hats. So
yeah, we'll wear your guys' stuff, whatever it is.
I know I'm saying
unless it
we
doesn't fit.
got stuff.
Oh yeah, we got our own.
got stuff.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm just been so busy. I've been building this.
I come
stuff
here
in the
earlier
house,
today and he puts me to work because he's remodeling his house.
Yeah, that's just so busy. I explained it to my wife and him. And I was just like, I'm kind of like the dad in Beethoven. Whenever you're like, because we wanted to do floors. I'm like, well, if we do the floors, we got to paint. If we're gonna paint, we got to do the cabinets. If we do the cabinets,
I came over to do a podcast and I hung drywall and hung a light.
Yeah, if we're gonna be doing all that, we might as well just
understand
take the pantry out and build a new pantry. If we're gonna build a new pantry, then I might as well just go ahead and just knock out my closet and make it twice the size it is. This is gonna be great.
This is gonna be good.
And yeah, if we're doing all that, we might as well hang out some new chandeliers we're getting in.
It's great.
And those things are the worst things to put in my life.
Gosh. I thought she was gonna kill you.
Oh, dude, I thought I was gonna do it. It's crazy.
So yeah,
we'll be doing the patch board. I gotta
DM us, we'll
be
let
doing
you
the
know
patch
where to
board
send
up
it until we get our PO box. We got some stuff in the works, so
and then we'll have our own T-shirts, our own hats, our own stickers.
We got stickers on order.
I'm excited. I'm excited for our logo, man.
cool.
It looks great.
Yeah,
The logo looks great. The T-shirt's gonna look awesome.
yeah.
So if you guys want any of that stuff, just let us know, and that way we can get kind of an order on, of how much we'll need. That way we can send it out to people.
Yeah, be cool. So
Awesome.
What else you want to talk about?
Oh shoot, I got so much to talk about.
Well, I mean,
Morale. I want to talk about morale in the fire service. I just want to hit on a couple topics.
Yeah.
So with morale in the fire service, there's a lot of guys that I've met and worked with that their morale is just kind of gone. They're not excited anymore. They're just completely negative.
Yeah.
They have nothing great to say about their own department. I did a class with Rick Lasky and
Chief Lasky, yeah.
it was Chief Lasky and I can't remember the other guy. I can picture his face. Anyways, it was an officer development class. And what he talked about was, I don't care how bad your department is. You don't badmouth your department.
Yeah.
You never badmouth your department. You are a representation of your department. Now, there's things that I think our department should do and shouldn't do. That's fine. It's just like every political leader. Every political leader, there's things that you agree with. Hey, you should do this and you shouldn't do this. That's just the way it is. But are you going to go around trashing your own department? What does that say about yourself? What does that say about your crew? What does that say about your department?
Right.
That works. And how does that make the citizens of that city or town or county feel about their own department? So I think it's be really important just to kind of just talk your department up, get other guys excited. And it's really tough to do that. Like, it's really tough to change your mentality.
It is tough for some people, but you're the one that makes your shift go the way it's going to go. Mm-hmm. If you're going to have a good shift, it's because you're going to make it a good shift. That's how I look at it. If I come in with a crappy attitude, I'm going to say the other word, crappy attitude, it's not going to be a very good shift.
Yeah. If you're coming in and you're already pissed at the world, it just doesn't make it. It doesn't make it any easier for the guys you work with. But,
yeah, I don't want to be around you if you're going to be pissed off all day.
There's been days I've come in and I've been pretty upset, and I got to check myself at the door.
Yeah,
which that happens to everybody. But when
but don't bring the other guys down with you.
Exactly.
That's the big thing.
That was just what I was about to talk about. With the morale of the fire department, with the morale of your crew, and even your shift, you can change it. If you're a battalion chief, or if you're a lieutenant, or you're a captain, or a black helmet, or there's really nothing else that they would call it a yellow helmet in other places.
There's nothing wrong with a yellow helmet, Matt.
There's nothing.
There's a lot of people that wear yellow helmets.
Well, I'd rather wear the European helmet. So if it doesn't matter what ranking you are, it doesn't matter how low on the totem pole you are, you can actually change your crew's day on how you come in and react to everybody. If you come in and you're just pissed off at everybody and you're just negative the entire time, dude, your day's not going to probably go that great. It's not going to
be good.
Yeah, it's not going to be that great. But you come in and you check yourself at the door and you just put a happy attitude on. Now, there's a lot more that goes into having a good attitude before you even coming in, which we can talk more about that. That's a lot of psychological stuff that we could talk about at another point. But just changing your entire day to come in to put a smile on your face, dude, it changes, because another guy might come in and he might just need to be kind of cheered up a little bit, and you can be that guy to cheer him up a little bit, and that involves a lot of energy to do it, but it can turn you into a good leader at some point, because you'll be learning on how to build relationships. That is
being a good leader. Yeah, it's definitely trying somebody coming in having a bad day, making that person have a better day. That's my opinion. Yeah.
And there's other things, like guys with depression. Yeah. I mean, that's a serious problem.
And I think that's one thing we are going to talk about a lot is, mental health in the fire service.
It's huge. Man.
We have guys that are struggling out here, guys and gals that are struggling, and there's platforms out there. We've been in contact with a couple of these platforms, so hopefully, we'll get some guys on here to talk about it, and I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a huge topic. That's probably really the second biggest topic, if not the first. I take it back, leadership back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
you better take that back.
I think mental health is definitely up there.
There's a department that was doing. It was a city actually, but it was the department they were focusing on. I can't remember what city it was, but they started doing more studies with psychologists, with first responders, law enforcement, fire, and EMS. And what they found was that a lot of these guys had some sorts and forms of PTSD, and they're going back to work every single day. And it's just getting compacted down, and it's just getting worse and worse. And
it builds up, it builds up, and it builds up.
Yeah, and then by the end of your 20, 35-year career, you are salty, you are angry at the world, and it's just, but there's a real thing that's happening at that point. Now, with this department or the city study that was done, what they were finding was these guys are living with PTSD and they're not being treated, but they're expected to go back to work. And it's a huge toll on these guys to do something like that. Because everyone understands, with the PTSD that you get when you're in the military, people they don't understand it, but it's more normal to hear about it from that aspect. It's not normal from really any other job,
right?
Especially with law enforcement, fire department. Because there's been times, dude. There's been times where I've cried after a run. It's been very sad stuff we see. But having that group of guys or the peer support groups, which there are departments that have peer support.
Those are
groups.
Huge, and I know we just started ours, or in the process of starting ours.
We were in the process with our department.
That's pretty great.
Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys were for that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was actually surprised to hear about that. No one wants to talk about their feelings.
Right.
Manly men don't want to talk about their feelings.
I'm not gonna be that guy. Nothing bothers me.
Oh, I talk about my feelings all the time.
That's the guy that needs help.
Yeah.
That's the guy that needs help.
Just being open with your more sensitive side is not like the most lame thing to do. It's not the most fun thing to do, but also to get a lot of that stuff off your chest.
Right.
This is another reason why we started this podcast.
Yeah.
I'll tell everybody just about anything about myself. Yeah,
he will too.
I definitely will. You don't want to hear a lot about myself, as I don't want to hear about myself. So, with the psychological studies that were being done with first responders and PTSD, it's pretty important for guys to be, or guys and gals. Sorry, I'll say guys, and I mean both, everybody.
Yeah.
Or if you think you're either or, you don't identify as any of the other above, I don't care. Well, with Biden now as president, we got to care. Got to do the Title IX stuff again. Not looking forward to that.
Ugh.
So, it's very important to be on top of and aware of possible mental triggers that you have that can kind of subvert you to more of a depressed state. Mm-hmm. And it's okay to be upset about something. Yeah. It's okay. But we've got to react on that. We got to get some help for it. So hopefully this kind of gets some guys some help. Right. And then you guys can reach out. Hopefully we'll be finding out some other agencies that'll be doing it. That way those guys from those departments can kind of say, hey, this is what we do. After calls, this is what we do. Hey, what do you guys do? And then be able to bounce it off each other and learn more and help out everybody else.
Yeah, because maybe we can bring it back to our crews, our department, and help us out.
Yeah, it's a big thing on how are all the regulations for the NFPA and all the 1902 and 1472 how does all that stuff happen? Because somebody else somewhere failed and they made a mistake, or they learned from it, and that's how we learn from all of our mistakes. So yeah, absolutely. If we could reach out to each other and help out, man, that'd be
we're all here for each other. That's the big thing that we gotta remember is we're all we have. Mm-hmm. So
awesome, man. Well, I'm good with ending it here.
I am too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sticking around with our first episode. It was real choppy. It was all over the place.
We'll get better.
It'll definitely get better.
We'll get better.
As soon as we have guests on, it'll be a lot better.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have a guest next week.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have somebody on next week. So we're wanting to do these about every Friday. Yeah. And then of course when excuse me, our shift day is on a Friday, we'll try to figure out if it's going to be Thursday or Saturday. And then we'll get that out too. Yeah. So yeah, we'll try to do that. Guys, please comment, and subscribe on the channel, and hit that little bell button too, so that way you get notifications whenever we post a new video. And then just please put a comment down at the bottom of what you want to see, or who you'd like us to talk to. And then however you want to contact us, just contact us. Send us your patches. Send us your shirts, your businesses. Whatever. We'll try to talk it up. We'll send something back. Merch, and we'll send something back. Yeah. So awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking around. I hope you guys have a great day.